Good morning. Today we're in 1 Samuel 30 and 31. And it came to pass, when David and his men were come to Ziklag, on the third day the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag had smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives, and that were therein they slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away, and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. And David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captive, Ahinoam of the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed. For the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. And David said to Abithiar the priest, Elimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me a hither of ephod. And Abithiar brought the thither a ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, Shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, Pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So David went, he and the 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, which were so faint they could not go over the brook Besor. And they found an Egyptian in the field, and they brought to him David, and gave him bread, and did he eat. And they made him drink water, and they gave him a piece of cake of figs, 2 clusters of raisins, and when he had eaten, his spirit came to him again, for he had eaten no bread, nor drunk any water 3 days and 3 nights. And David said unto him, Whom belongest thou, and whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Egypt, a servant to Amalekite. My master left me, because 3 days ago I fell sick. We made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. And David said unto him, Canst thou bring me down to this company? And he said, Swear unto me by God that thou wilt neither kill me, nor deliver me in the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines, and out of the land of Judah. And David smote them from twilight even until the evening of the next day, and there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. And there was nothing lacking to them, neither great or small, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil or anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all. And David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those other cattle, and said, This is David's spoil. And David became to the 200 men, which were so faint they could not follow David, whom they had also made to abide at the brook of Besor. And they went forth to meet David, and the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Then answered all the wicked men and the men of Belial, those that went with David, and said, Because they went not with us, we will not give them all of the spoil that we have recovered, save every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Then said David, Ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord hath given us, who hath preserved us, and delivered the company that came against us into our hand. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is goeth down to battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the staff, that they shall part alike. And it was so from that day forward, he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. And when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil of the elders of Judah, even to his friends, saying, Behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemies of the Lord, to them which were in Bethel, to them which were in South Ramoth, and to them which were in Jatir, and to them which were in Aurora, and to them that which were in Siphmoth, to them that which were in Estimah, to them that were in Rochelle, and to them that were in cities of the Jerahmeelites, to them that were in the cities of the Kenites, to them that which were in Hormah, to them which were in Chorashan, and to them that were which were in Athak, to them which were in Hebron, to all the places where David himself and his men were wont to haunt. Chapter 31. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell down slain in the Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan, and Abinadab, and Melchishua, Saul's sons. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor-bearer, Draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through, and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword, and fell upon it. And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword, and died with him. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor-bearer, and all his men, that same day together. And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan, saw the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook the cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in Mount Gilboa. And they cut off his head, and stripped off his armor, and sent into the land of the Philistines round about, to publish it in the house of their idols, and among the people. And they put his armor in the house Ashtaroth, and they fastened his body to the wall of Bashan. And when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard that which the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose, and went all night, and took the body of Saul and the body of his sons from the wall of Bashan, and came to Jabesh, and burnt him there. And they took their bones, and buried him under a tree at Jabesh, and fasted for 7 days.